Hello everyone, welcome to TGS 2020 Online Capcom Special Program. We're about to begin. So my name is Taguchi and I will be your MC for this portion. So sorry, I will be Taguchi and I will be your MC for this portion. During this live stream, we'll be welcoming guests from Capcom's development team who are ready to share with us some announcements regarding titles Resident Evil Village and Monster Hunter Rise. Wow, look at all the comments. So let's start with the first title. We'd like to call tonight's guest to the stage. So over here, could you introduce yourselves? Hi, my name is Tsuyoshi Kanda, and I am one of the producers for Resident Evil Village. So for everybody watching, thank you for watching tonight. Next up.
Shout out to our viewers in Japan and all over the world.
That was in English, but his name is Peter Fabiano. Wow, look at all the comments. Everybody's really excited to kind of see the information that we're going to unveil tonight. So, what should we start with? So, today we'll be talking about Resident Evil series, especially Resident Evil Village. So, we want to start by talking about Biohazard Village. Here's the latest trailer for those who may have missed it.
Whoa, move! Chris? What the hell? Take him away.
In life and in death, we give glory. The bell tolls for us all. They're coming again!
Mia.
Quit being so paranoid. Long ago, a young girl went with her mother to pick berries for her father, who was hard at work. But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence. The bushes empty. Yet determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free of Mother's grasp and vanished into the trees. Mother's worried cries faded fast as the girl ran on, over vine, under branch, and into the forest deep. It's just a local tale.
If it's just looking, window shop away.
Wow, that was so scary, right? Looking at all the comments, it seems like everybody is like, wow, that was really cool. So, thank you. So, including videos, we have a lot more information to show you today. So, we thought we'd start with a summary and some other information. To start with, this game's story takes place several years after Resident Evil 7. Just like RE7, players assume the role of Ethan Winters, who's now living peacefully with his wife Mia. So that peace that he is living with his wife is shockingly shattered by Chris Redfield, who helped Ethan in the previous game. So after watching the trailer, I'm sure players are left wondering what Chris's motives could be, and how this changes the dynamic between the characters from RE7. We can't disclose these secrets today, but we'll continue to provide more information in the future. So in terms of the setting, as the title implies, this game takes place in a desolate, snowy village where all sorts of drama unfolds. So the interesting thing about this game is the village plays a central role, so much so that it can be considered another main character. And here we get a look at some of the creatures that have taken root in the village. As seen in the trailer, they move fast, they're very violent, and they sometimes hunt in packs. They'll become even tougher when they're organized and coordinating their offensives. But even in this creature-infested village, there are various residents that the players can expect to encounter along the way. So what sort of story is going to be waiting for you with all these interesting characters in the village? So we'll have more details about this as well, but you can look at the pictures that we have and kind of come up with your own ideals. So everything looks really cool, right? Like, just seeing it brings up all these kind of interesting, makes me imagine all the cool things that are going to be happening in this game. So is there anything else you can show us tonight? So yeah, we have something that we haven't shown anybody yet. We have an interview with Pete and with the director Sato and with the art director Takano. So please take a look.
Beautiful,
So
terrifying.
So a very beautiful but scary. For Resident Evil 7, we initially thought of Ethan as a character who would just act as a camera for the player, a sort of blank slate for the cam to project themselves onto. But from a story perspective, we realized it would be better to make Ethan Winters a character unto himself. And, we really ended up liking who Ethan became, and we wanted to know what happened to him after Resident Evil 7, like what sort of life he would lead. So we started thinking that for the next stage, the protagonist really couldn't be anybody else but Ethan, and we figured this all out at a pretty early stage. We want to make sure Village was just as terrifying as Resident Evil 7, maybe even scarier. But, something you'll probably notice that's different from that game is that we changed the lighting a lot from what you saw in Resident Evil 7. You probably noticed that if you watched the PV. And, we think we really hit a good distance and made a terrifying and beautiful village.
And really grew them in scale for Resident Evil Village. Not only did we up the graphics and elements of survival horror, but we focused on making the world and the atmosphere all around it feel both beautiful yet terrifying.
So when we were making Resident Evil 7, we thought, is this still scary? We decided that in terms of game design, we would go back over everything that we did, and you can keep this in mind. We'd go back and we'd kind of reverse all the we'd rethink all the logic we used in the previous games, and try to make a really terrifying game. So compared to RE7, Village is a bit more catchy, a bit more easy to pull yourself into. That's one of the primary concepts we kept in mind when creating the game. Now, in terms of visual beauty and the weight we gave to it, I really left it all entirely in the capable hands of art director Takano. As Village's director, I tried to think about the feel of the game, like what are the emotional moments, where's the terror, where's the beauty, where's the cruelty, where are all these feelings, and thinking about all that sort of stuff is my main job, what I consider my main job when I was creating this game. Now, when we think of the word village, it evokes a sense of closeness, of like a small, tiny place. But when you look at what you built village to be, it's sort of a colossal distance. It's got like this colossal distant feel to it. We wanted to give it a sense of like oomph, like a very sense of reality. So we did our best to make the mountains around the village look as fantastic as possible, to really give it a wide open vibe. We wanted players to walk through the world and be like, whoa, I didn't think of what I could actually go here, and wow, this is so cool and everything. So we thought a lot about how to create a game that you can make your own approach to, where you could figure out your own solutions to problems you face. This is something we decided to do a lot more with this game. So you have a lot more freedom than in RE7. We want players to experiment, to figure out things that work for them. We want everyone to think of Resident Evil Village as a horror movie that you could play.
You want to take your time to fully explore the detailed environments and the fully designed set pieces. The only way that you could make it any more immersive, I guess, is to scan yourself and put yourself in the game.
Where did you find this guy? Give me a break, Pete. Hey, I only work with professionals.
But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence. The bushes empty, and into the forest deep.
What is it with that creepy story?
It's just a local tale.
まあ、絵本を使った理由はですね、すごくいろんなバラエティに
So
富ん
we
だ作品に
included
な
a
る
storybook in Village
まあ一番よく
because we had a huge variety of things that we included in the
あんまり
game.
切らずにお客さんが
We
何度も
realized later that it would be hard to summarize all that, and players might get confused and think, what's this all
い
about?
ろんなバラエティあるものが一つの書物
That would be, not ideal.
できたらなと思って考えてました。
So we came up with this one storybook that would sort of summarize everything for people so they could understand the whole picture of the
To
game.
get the full experience. All the little touches and ideas that the designers add are fully realized and come together once you make it through the entire game.
僕はそうですね、ヴィレッジは
Village to me is
僕はやっぱりそうですね、イーさんっていう一人の人間の
this kind of story of Ethan, this one
イー
guy.
さんっていうそのキャラクターの一つの、イーさんの全てを描き切る作品だと思ってます。
So probably the entirety of who he is just kind of brought into a one single
イーサン・
game.
ウィンターズっていうのを最後まで見届けたいと。
For the Ethan Winters that we created in Resident Evil 7, I wanted to see where his story ended up. And I think that's kind of one of the main centerpieces of Resident Evil Village. Wow, that was really cool. Oh man, look at all these really nice comments. Some of these comments are like, let Ethan have like a peaceful life, come on. If you watch the video we just showed, you can probably see what sort of survival horror we're trying to make with Resident Evil Village. We're hard at work on Resident Evil Village, so and we're doing everything we can to deliver an amazing game, so stay tuned for more information. So we do have one more thing to report. While Resident Evil Village is being developed specifically for next-generation consoles and PC, we're looking into delivering the experience on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One as well. We're looking into it, but we can't make any promises. However, we will do our best in creating a top-tier survival horror experience on current generation consoles. Hopefully we'll be able to share some more good information. Wow, that's really exciting, right? So keep tuned for more information on this front. So that is going to be it for information on Biohazard Village, but I hear we have some more information to share with everybody from something else. Yes, we have the 25th anniversary of the first Resident Evil coming next year on March 22nd, 2021. So we're here to kick things off with this year. So we've created 2 mascots for this anniversary, like a cute one and like a really cool one. And this one's like super cute, right? So the one on the right is Raccoon-kun, or Raccoon. He is the mascot of Raccoon City. Now we have one more thing to show you, and that's this right here. Wow, look at it. That's like all the characters. There's so many characters I remember from the Resident Evil series. Man, it's been forever since this came out. 25 years is a long time, right? Like, back then I was still a student when it came out, and, like, Nike Air Maxes and stuff were out, Beepers and whatnot. So, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each one of you. The reason why we're able to continue this series is because of all of you, of our fans. And I hope you enjoyed what we showed you today. And we have plenty more information to share with you soon, so please look forward to it. So that's all the news from the 2 of us today. So everybody's really surprised to see that character in the middle of that big, large picture they had a second ago. So next year looks to be an excited one. And do you have one final message before you guys go and head off? So let's start with you, Takano-san. Or so Kanda-san, sorry. So we can only give you a little bit of information about this game right now, but we want you to know that the entire staff for Resident Evil Village is doing our best to create the best survival horror Resident Evil game for you guys to play. So we'll do our best to keep making it a sort of Resident Evil that is what everybody wants and is the sort of thing that everybody can have a lot of fun with. So please stay tuned for more information.
Thanks everyone for watching.
So next up is Pete. So we hope you look forward to more information about Resident Evil Village and the 25th year anniversary of Resident Evil. So that was all the information we have for you about Resident Evil today, but we hope you enjoyed it. Did everybody have fun? I can't believe that Papa, the character, was in the center of that big picture everywhere. I was really surprised to see him there. So next, we have some information for you on Monster Hunter. So stay tuned. 25 years, wow. Anyway, it looks like our preparations are ready, so now we're going to move on to talk about Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Stories 2, which were announced just last week. So here to tell you about them are Monster Hunter Rise producer Tsujimoto Ryozo and the director Ichinose Yasuda. Off. Several Resident Evil titles, including Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 7, and others, are currently on sale. For players who haven't played Resident Evil 7 yet, now is the chance to play before Resident Evil 7 Village arrives. Also, Monster Hunter, I believe, Generations Ultimate on Nintendo Switch is now on sale. How about picking up to play with friends while looking forward to the arrival of Monster Hunter Rise? We also have other really fun old titles as well, such as Okami from our older past titles. So please keep an eye out for more information on them. Now, next up, we have some information on the Capcom TGS Live 22 live stream. It starts at 9 p.m. From 12 p.m. for just 2 days on September 26th and September 27th. You can tune in for additional info on the three titles to feature today, along with the Devil May Cry Special Edition and announcer Street Fighter V Champion Edition. Now, lastly, we have, after the stream today, we have the Street Fighter League Pro JP 2020 tournament first leg, which will be starting on Esports X at 11 p.m. Japan Standard Time today. Topped up with international top players such as the legendary player Umehara and the Todai graduate Tokido. The strongest players will gather to form a dream team they're set on joining the league. Don't miss all of this really awesome stuff. Wow, that was such a really packed broadcast we had today. We hope everybody really enjoyed it, and that brings an end to our program tonight. For everybody watching today, thank you very much. Goodbye, and we hope to see you again tomorrow.
こんなとこまで作り込んでんだみたいな。
堂々それ以上の怖いパートは必ずある。
Beautiful, yet terrifying.
恐ろしく美しい村。
イーサーもの全てを描き切る作品。バイオ7作った時にそのイーサンってキャラクターはある種プレイヤーのカメラそのものみたいな無色透明なキャラクターとして最初考えてたんですけど、やっぱりこう一本ゲームとして完成させてみると、それでもやっぱイーサン・ウィンターズってキャラクターに我々自身もすごい愛着が生まれてて、やっぱりその彼のその後ってどうなるんだろうみたいな、彼の物語って今後どうなっていくんだろうっていうのはやっぱり僕ら自身もやっぱり知りたくなったんですよね。それでやっぱりその続きの作品作るとしたら、やっぱり主人公はイーサン以外に考えられないだろうなと思って、それはかなり早い段階で決まったと思ってます。
ヴィレッジでは当たり前ですけども、セブンと同じか同等それ以上の怖いパートは必ずあるんですけれども、そこだけではなくて、ファースト PV 見てもらったら分かると思うんですけど、かなり光源設計がセブンとは打って変わって恐ろしく美しい村というのをビジュアルのコンセプトに立てましたので、その部分はかなり達成できてるんではないかなと思います。
We're really proud of how Resident Evil 7 turned out. So we took elements from that title and really grew them in scale for Resident Evil Village. Not only did we up the graphics and elements of survival horror, but we focused on making the world and the atmosphere all around it feel both beautiful yet terrifying.
セブンになってこれは本当に怖いのかっていうのを、一つずつデザインですね見てった時に、一旦過去のロジックを忘れて恐怖のためにも本当に自分たちで考えて一歩ずつやってったっていう感じです。それに比べてヴィレッジはもう少しキャッチーで、親しみやすいというか、そっちのデザイン路線を今回多く入れるようには心がけました。
ビジュアルの美しさとか、その本当の意味での作り込みってところは AD の高野を本当に信頼してるので、もう彼に一任はしてるんですけど、やっぱりディレクターとしてはそのエモーショナルな瞬間はどこなんだろうとか、やっぱりそのタイミングで与えたいフィール、その恐ろしさなのか美しさなのか、あるいはなんか残酷さとか他のフィールなのか、やっぱそこを考えて、じゃあそれを実現するための絵作りをしてくれよというのは僕の役割だと思ってるので、一つの村っていうとやっぱ、なんか小さなイメージ持つような人もいるとは思うんですけど、実際今ヴィレッジ見るともう遠くの円形までもうすごいやっぱりリアリティで作り込んでたりとか、もう向こうの山の向こうまでめっちゃ綺麗に作ってるみたいな感じで、ものすごい広がりを感じる舞台として、背景ってできてるんで、やっぱそこは実際に自分で歩いてみて、わ、すげえこんなとこも行けるんだとか、こんなスポットあるんだとか、こんなとこまで作り込んでんだみたいな、そういうのは主観視点でこう見てほしいですね。自分ならではのプレーっていうのがどれだけできるかっていうところを意識してるんですよね。その自分でその困難に対して工夫して立ち向かっていって攻略していくっていう、そういったプレーの幅っていうのはセブンからかなり意識して広げています。なのでやっぱりそこはぜひ自分自身でプレイして、その試行錯誤してやっぱり実際にプレイして体験してほしいなと。バイオハザードってやっぱりそのプレイするホラー映画だと思ってるので、そこは実際プレイしてほしいです。
The first-person perspective works really well to draw you into the world we've created. You want to take your time to fully explore the detailed environments and the fully designed set pieces. The only way that you could make it any more immersive, I guess, is to scan yourself and put yourself in the game.
Where did you find this guy? Give me a break, Pete. Hey, I only work with professionals.
But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence. The bushes empty, and into the forest deep.
What is it with that creepy story?
It's just a local tale.
まあ、絵本を使った理由はですね、すごくいろんなバラエティに富んだ作品になる、商品になるなぁと思ってたんですね。まあ、一番良くないのって結構やっぱりいろんな素材が出た後に、まとまりきらずにお客さんが何だったんだろうってなっちゃうのが一番まずくて、まあ、そこでどんなバラエティなものが飛んできたとしても、もうあたかもすごくいろんなバラエティあるものが一つの書物に収まってるかのような、まあちょっとできたらなと思って考えてました。
You really need to play the Resident Evil games to get the full experience. All the little touches and ideas that the designers add are fully realized and come together once you make it through the entire game.
僕はそうですね、ヴィレッジは、僕はやっぱりそうですね、イーさんっていう一人の人間の物語を、イーさんっていうそのキャラクターの一つの、イーさんの全てを描き切る作品だと思ってますね。やっぱりその僕もセブンで作り出したイーサン・ウィンターズっていうのを最後まで見届けたいと、それがヴィレッジの一つの軸かなと思ってますね。
Hi, I'm Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village.
And I'm Fabiano, also producer on Resident Evil Village.
We hope you all had the chance to check out and enjoy our trailer.
Some of you are probably wondering why we didn't just call the game Resident Evil 8.
Well, it's still the 8th in the series, and we're treating it as such. You can even see the Roman numeral 8 in the game logo, so it's Resident Evil 8, just not in name.
Yeah, I like the play on the design and simplicity in the name. But we'll touch more on that a little later. Now, why don't we just jump in and let viewers know a little bit more about the game itself.
First off, Resident Evil Village will be available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Steam.
Right, and in line with previous Resident Evil titles, we're using RE Engine. That engine brought Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Resident Evil 2, Devil May Cry 5, and most recently, Resident Evil 3 to life. We were able to take all that we learned from those titles, along with our internal development efforts, and optimize the latest version of the engine for the next generation of consoles.
With the combined power of Next Gen and RE Engine, we can take our developers' vision to new heights. Once again, we're planning a fresh take on survival horror, this time upping the ante on action a bit.
Realistic graphics and immersive audio, coupled with no load times, will really draw you into the world we've created for Resident Evil Village.
Speaking of which, the game takes place a few years after the events of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Right, and it follows the story of protagonist Ethan Winters. Ethan's gone back to living an ordinary life, but of course, it wouldn't be a proper story without a new challenge to overcome. Chris Redfield, a decorated hero fighting against bioterrorism, makes his return, but not in the way you think. He's the reason Ethan's life gets turned upside down. Let's take a look at some key art.
You can see Chris looking dark and far more brooding than in earlier Resident Evil appearances.
The last thing worth mentioning in terms of characters here is the village itself.
It plays such a crucial role as the backdrop and setting of the game that we consider it very much its own character as well. Right, shifting gears, let's talk a bit about the game's design.
You'll notice the familiar first-person perspective from Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. It really helps bring players into the world. It makes them feel like they're Ethan, with the same sense of heightened tension and fear.
Here's a quick look at the game running in engine.
The team is working really hard to create a great experience. You can really see the details, even close up. Let's take a look at the inventory. For players familiar with Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, or the recent versions of Resident Evil 2 and 3, you'll be right at home.
Ele tinha como base, ele sempre teve como
Bem-vindos
base
ao canal.
que ele tinha uma
We hope you enjoyed this additional look into Resident Evil Village.
Oh, and here's one more piece of key art. You might want to pay extra close attention to this one.
There's a lot that's being shown in it. So much so that we debated whether or not to actually put it in the announced trailer.
Take a look and let your imagination run wild.
We're aiming to have more to show you towards the end of summer.
So, until next time.